Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Before we start the session, I just wanted to give you some updates that the entire session will be for a period of about 1 hour, and we have muted at the moment, but we will open up for the Q&A at the end of the sessions. So, good afternoon, everyone, again, and welcome you all for the webinar on the SAP 3D Visual Enterprise Solutions. The topic of discussion today is how do we access the business data in a visual context, that is through SAP 3D Visual Enterprise Solution. So today's agenda on SAP visualization overview would be briefly to introduce ourselves on the corporate profile, followed by the current trend and challenges, the importance of graphics, and the product suites of SAP Visual Enterprise Solutions, the role of visualization, SAP 3D visualizations, the business values, followed by a demo on a standalone application that is available on my laptop, and the customer references. So just to give you a brief about our company, we started our operation in the year 1994 as a CAD/CAM and PLM solution provider, primarily a sales and support organization. We are one of the largest PLM solution providers across the country. We have offices spread across the leading cities in India, around 11 locations, headquartered in Bengaluru. And we have a strategic alliance with some of the world leaders like SAP, Dassault Systems, Autodesk, and so on. So specific to SAP, as an SAP partner, we handle SAP consulting, implementation services, support services, and also license selling across the Indian industry or across the Indian market. Down the line, we should also be focusing in the international market. So that was a brief about our company profile. So just to give you, before we actually go into the solutions, I would like to just give you a background about what is the current scenario in the market. In today's world, we see that communication plays a very key important role, primarily because everything is connected. Each and everything is interdependent, and of late we are hearing about the Internet of Things and so on. There is also a collaborative environment across every industrial segments that we are coming across, like manufacturing, discrete industries, IMNCs, high-tech, auto and aero industries. There is also the internal and external parties that are involved, which includes even the suppliers and vendors where the data has to be shared. When I say the data, it is primarily the engineering data that needs to be shared across your downstream users. So as you see on the screen, we have the design engineering team and the non-engineering world, where the entire data that is coming out from the design departments has to be shared to the downstream users if it has to be a kind of a collaborative environment. So how do they communicate or share details? There are different ways. Traditionally, we are observing that data are being shared either through PDF, through text, or through emails. So these are the traditional ways what we see in the current world or the earlier days, that the engineering data are shared across the downstream users from the design departments through all these formats, or through physically the engineers or the personnel going to the respective units for their communicative environment. But there involves a lot of textual informations across these while they're sharing the data, because of which there's probably a delay in the complete business process. And so there is no visuals. When I say there is no visuals, it is primarily the 3D representation which is not available to the downstream users, suppliers, vendors, etc. So because too often what happens is this 3D visual information about the products, the process, and the assets are restricted to engineering and not available to others who need to drive it to the downstream process. But still the engineering and the tech data have to be shared. Pardon, just kindly excuse me. I see there is a technical issue with some of the team members who are not able to see my screen. I just request you to be online before I rectify this and come back to you. Sorry that there is a technical problem over here. Before we rectify that, I'll just give me a minute on this. We will set it right and start the session again. I've just sent a message asking for the entire audience. Are they able to see my screen? If you could respond me back on this chat, I think it would be beneficial. As we see that you have been muted right now, but at least you could SMS or you can send me a message through the chat before I continue again. Okay, I think I'll continue with the session over here. I hope the technical issue has been resolved because I don't see any message from the team that they are facing a problem. So I think it's, I will continue with the session. I hope the team is able to see the screen. So as I was explaining that in today's world, communication plays a very important role. As I was saying that it plays a very important role because everything is connected, each and everything is interdependent, and of late we have been hearing about Internet of Things. We have a complete engineering department as well as the downstream users, which is a non-engineering world. However, the data which are being generated from the design engineering department, primarily from various sources of CAD softwares, has to be shared, made available to the downstream users, which could be your suppliers, vendors, or in fact even to your manufacturing, purchase, finance, and so on. So how are these data being shared? There are different ways, as I said. These formats are primarily the traditional ways of sharing the data that could be in the format of PDF, emails, text, which is more of a textual information rather than visuals. That is where we bring in a lot of in meetings wherein you would like to convey the actual message to the team, which could actually be done if there is a visualization brought into the picture. Let me give an example for you. Assume that the shop floor, when you go across the shop floor or across a manufacturing unit, if you see certain individuals having 3D glasses, that could make a difference, because of late we have been hearing about the Google 3D glasses, wherein the entire visualization is brought into their onto their forefront while they are working on the machineries and the huge in front of the machineries or the shop floors where there is no access to the digital systems like your computers or your other devices. So if everything is brought into a visualization, wherein entire manufacturing data and the business data are made available onto your 3D glasses, how does it make a difference? Definitely, it will make a difference. It would improvise your on-time delivery. It could improvise your manufacturing efficiency, productivity, and also the time to market. That is where it plays a very important role. Quite often we see that these issues, when I say these issues, the traditional way of sharing the data and the communications that are not happening between the engineering department to your non-engineering departments, including your manufacturing and downstream processes like support, sales, and services, business functions across your enterprise. We see that these issues are neglected in the current process, and they feel it's not a problem. But at the end of every financial years, when there's an analysis, we see it as one of the major issues affecting their business in terms of revenue and profits. So that is where we see that visualization plays a very important key or a key role when it comes to the enterprise world, where you have the ERP and you have the design houses and also the non-engineering world, which could be your internal as well as your external parties. So how do we address this? how do we address these issues? Yes, as we have already discussed that visualization is one of the technology that is available, and SAP has made one step ahead in bringing in this technology onto the ERP environment. When I say the ERP environment, the visualization is made available to all across the enterprise, right from the engineering departments to the downstream users, including your suppliers, vendors, and so on, when they're in an integrated environment or a collaborative environment. But what are the business challenges that we are coming out or facing with in the current industrial segments that we have just discussed, be it manufacturing, be it discrete, be it industrial machinery and components, high-tech, auto, or aero. Some of the business challenges that I have listed down over here is primarily concentrated on across these business functions, because visualization plays a very important role across these business functions. When I say the business functions, right from your engineering, the manufacturing, sales and marketing, and the service and support business functions. The key, I have just mentioned the key business challenges over here, respective to that business functions. Respective to engineering, when we see that there is a business functional delays. There is the engineering chain notifications that needs to be shared across all your downstream users or to the immediate business functions like your manufacturing. There is a delayed decisions, increased cycle times, increased design cost, and there are communications issues. So when we say that these are some of the challenges, that is because primarily the design information is not freely available to everyone, which causes decisions to be delayed, holding up design releases, and increased cycle times. Numerous prototypes are required to validate design effectiveness, which increases their engineering design cost. Communications in the design process is difficult because product visuals, support information, and feedback are separated, causing details to be overlooked. So that was some specific business challenges that we come across from this engineering business function standpoint of view. So moving down to the manufacturing business functions, some of the major challenges that we come across are the assembly errors, costly component failures, too many prototypes, high cost, inefficient communications and collaborations. The assembly errors and the component failures are very costly in nature. Too many prototypes are required to prove out your manufacturing process. The cost of maintaining your up-to-date work instructions and training documents is high due to frequent design engineering chain notifications that's coming from your other departments. So, and as well, you have inefficient communications and collaboration between engineering, manufacturing, and component suppliers, causing the pre-production assembly errors. So these were some of the challenges that we come across the manufacturing business functions. There could be even much more beyond these issues. I just have highlighted on the major issues that we have come across all the industry verticals that we have went across. So moving down to the sales and marketing department, we see that the cost of prototypes for trade shows, demonstrations, and other events are being a significant part of sales budget. We have challenges in time to market and the market readiness. The high degree of customization and all the value of that customization available with the product is difficult to convey to the customer. The photo shoots of prototypes are expensive because it is being outsourced due to the inefficiency of the capabilities or the expertise on the documentation part of it, using some softwares which are available that can address the requirement. So when it comes to the service or the support organizations, we see there is a high cost of service and support products related documentation, training manuals, and service manuals. In fact, even the time-consuming process to implement revisions into service and support documents and then communication to the downstream users. Service and support manuals are often out of date and are difficult to interpret, making them less useful. And also, we also see that inability to create necessary documentation or access the CAD data without using engineering personnel. These are some of the primary challenges that we come across these business functions, business units or the functions. And that is where we see that visualization plays a very important role that can address these kind of challenges. And how do we do that? Before we actually go to that, how do we do that? Let's give you a brief about why is graphics so important and what is that graphics that enables faster and better understanding in terms of business functionalities or business processes. For simple reason being that the brain finds it very easy to process information if it is presented as an image. When I say an image, it is the 3D represented data that actually is generated from the your design department, because majority of the data, around 90% of the actual data are coming from your engineering department, and that is where it makes us, it enables us from these research agencies. What we see the metrics from these research agencies, that learning from animations and graphics have brought in better retention in terms of the percentage. If we have to describe, 10% better retentions, 30% better understanding because of the visual effects, and also 10% increase in engagement with their customers, and so on and so forth. 50% reduction in learning time. So these are some of the findings that has been made through certain research. And if you could see at the bottom, we also have several studies combined have shown a very high percentage gain of 89% learning effectiveness with images rather than words or numbers, wherein you need to bring in a lot of explanations and descriptions, or you need to have a lot of meetings to actually convey what is that you would like to present it to the audience, or to the customers, or to your downstream users or non-engineering departments. So moving down, we see how these issues or challenges that can be addressed. Primarily, these issues or challenges can be addressed or are being addressed through one of the solutions that we have from SAP, which is called a 3D visualization and integrated approach. Though it can also be a standalone applications which is available, but a 3D visualization integrated approach plays a very important role in addressing these kind of challenges. So as you see at the bottom layer, the complete visual enterprise suite consisting of the visual enterprise generator and author, along with your viewer. A viewer, when it is integrated across your ERP environment to the downstream users, as long as they have a valid user login and password, at any point of time or across the globe or any locations, they can visualize the complete data along with the business data and as well as your 3D represented visualization. That gives you a complete picture about what is that you are actually looking out for. So as you see on the left-hand corners, you see the business data and as well the engineering data, both coming into your ERP environment. When I say the ERP environment, the complete SAP business suite, through which all this data has to be made available to the other business functions. It could be your sourcing, production, sales, aftermarket, or engineering, or to your suppliers, vendors, and so on and so forth. And this integrated approach brings in a complete end-to-end solution which can address your entire issues, what we have just discussed to the previous slides on the business challenges that these business functions are facing with, primarily the engineering, the manufacturing, service and support, or sales and marketing department. So moving down, we see what are the products that are available from SAP point of view which can address these issues. We see that on the left-hand side, which is completely the server-based components. These components sit into the ERP landscape, when it is an integrated environment consisting of your generator and access, which helps you in converting any of your CAD-related data that is coming from the sources like Unigraphics, CATIA, SolidWorks, Solid Edge, any mechanical CAD softwares. It can convert it into a lightweight file format and make it available to the downstream users or to your suppliers, vendors, or to the external parties with the viewer integrated, available on the extreme right corner, which is again a desktop-based applications or the client components. This complete product suites are a part of your SAP PLM suite. The PLM, which is integrated again into your ERP, brings in this entire visualization effect, wherein you can actually leverage the visualization in terms of services, or for example, if you would like to access the warranty information of that particular component, or what is the reason for that particular component to fail with the analytics on the side panel analytics, which would give you a clear picture about what is the reason for its failure, with the complete details about the failure information and all these business related informations can be made available along with your visualization, which is available on in your environment as an integrated environment through the viewer. So just to give you a brief about what is the role of visualizations across the individual business functions. So primarily, as we discussed, we have the engineering or the R&D business functions. We also have the manufacturing, service and support, and sales and marketing. So we'll go on respective business functions. To start with the R&D, primarily the business scenarios that we come across are the design collaborations, reviews, and markups. The massive model reviews where design reviews happen, the engineering change notifications needs to be addressed, and so on and so forth. How does visual enterprise solution play a role? High performance visualizations combined with business data brings in that real value to the across your enterprise, providing more comprehensive information visually rather than textual information or the words or numbers and so on. So what is the value that you would leverage when you have visualization across this time to market is increased, better decision making, faster information retrieval and analysis, and various other benefits that you could leverage upon, which we will be discussing in details again to the next slide. So moving down to the next business functions, primarily the manufacturing. Again, what you could see over here as the business scenarios would be the assembly work instructions, the bill of material information that you would like to access, the process simulations. Primarily the process simulation including the complete processes from one stage to another stage that you would like to capture as a 3D represented or in a virtual environment that you would like to virtually visualize without even having without even you stepping into the shop floor. You would like to virtually see what is the process happening on different stages, and that is made available and that can be made available to a visual enterprise solution. How do we do that? We enable the 3D step-by-step assembly instructions in an animated format, ensuring the manufacturing bill of material details synchronized with your product design along with your visualization on the integrated through your viewer. So as the moment you click on the respective visuals, the respective component gets highlighted onto your bill of material or vice versa. When you click on the bill of material, it gets highlighted on the visualization. That is where you get a kind of a complete comprehensive information visually as well as with the business data. So what is the value? The increase in your productivity. It facilitates proper task executions because everything goes in smooth and in transition. It improves the assembly process quality. So I would like to just take you through some of the demo which would just give you an idea about what this solution is all about. So though this is not an integrated solution right now what I have, but at least it's a standalone application installed on my laptop, which would just give you a brief about what is this solution all about. So primarily the solution what you see right now, it's a Visual Enterprise Author, a Windows-based application. It's primarily an authoring tool which helps you in generating and creating all your step-by-step assembly instructions, work instructions, animations, and so on. So let me take you through some of the examples just to give you an idea about what this solution is all about. So I've just taken an example on an automotive example. So if you could see over here, it gives you a 3D represented animated sequence of operations that you would like to carry out, or the assembly or disassembly procedures. It can also bring in some textual informations like what is that needs to be assembled, or what is that that has to be disassembled without even affecting the associated component as an assembly. So as you see over here, this is one example which can give you an idea about how 3D represented animated visualization can be brought into an effect. The same animation what you're seeing right now can be made available to your entire ERP or to your entire across your enterprise through the Visual Enterprise Viewer, which is integrated in your ERP environment. So this gives you an idea about how it goes through as a disassembly procedure, along with the part number details, or the description of that particular component, including your detailed view, the cut sections. We can also add the balloonings or the part number informations or the bill of materials based on the requirement. This is one of the examples that I just showed right now, and let me take you through some of the other examples. So this is one of the examples that I would like to just take it to. So primarily a consumer goods based industry. This setup box, it gives you a complete picture about how it can be assembled or disassembled with a complete visualized effect. The same what you're seeing right now with the step-by-step assembly instruction, the exact thing could be visualized across your ERP solution as well, as long as you have a valid login and password with necessary authorizations and roles and responsibilities that has been assigned to that respective user. So as you see there, you have a step-by-step instructions on the top side, and on the as well you have a visualization which gives you a kind of a representation showing you how it can be assembled. So it gives you a kind of a complete end-to-end visualization. So rather than too much of words or textual informations, you see that there are a lot of it's completely explained in one visualized effect. So this can also be published in various formats. You can publish this into your 3D PDF output, and that can be shared across your downstream users as a PDF file, where they need not have any additional softwares to open that. You just have to have a PDF reader to open that and access that information. Or as long as you have a valid user login and password on your ERP user logins, you can access this in your SAP ERP solution itself. So it can also be published into your 3D HTML output, or you can also make it available onto your downstream digitized medias like your iPhone, iPads, mobile applications. And of late, we have been, if not in India, I think there are some tractions happening on that, trying to see that if it can be mapped onto your Google 3D glasses. That's one of the technology that we could see, and we shouldn't be surprised that these technologies to be also made available down the line into the Indian industries. So this was one of the examples that I just wanted to share, and I would like to take you through some of the other examples. So this gives you again step-by-step assembly instructions with all the necessary information of the part numbers, how it has to be assembled, how it has to be disassembled, with all the work instruction informations, with all the even the safety instructions that you could see on the screen. So this is one particular solution. Right now, what you're seeing as of now is a standalone application, but this could be the same even if you have a integrated environment which helps you in generating all these kind of animation or animated visualized solution. So quite recently, we also have seen that we had received an inquiry from one of the customer in India who are very much using this particular solution integrated with their MES system. When I say MES system, manufacturing execution system, where they would like to have this visualization brought into their business data or to the ERP environment. Well, at the click of the particular component, it should give them the information about what is the type of material of this, who is the supplier who are available in India to deliver this particular component, the supplier name, the supplier informations, the cost of this detail, cost of this particular component. At one click of the particular component, you get the entire business data as long as you have a ERP integrated environment. So that is one of the advantages that you could leverage when you have visualization rather than textuals or textual informations or the words or something like that, wherein there involves a lot of explanations. You're trying to actually convey to the your team or to the stakeholders. So I would like to also take you to some of the videos, probably to give you an idea about the service manuals, service industries that can leverage the benefits out of this visualization solution. Just give me a minute before I take you to that example. So if you could see over here, this particular video could give you an idea about how the maintenance activities are being carried out at an oil and gas industries. So it can give you an idea about, with the visualization in the background, with less number of, you can say, not too much of explanation brought into that particular manual that you're trying to bring into your maintenance team. So as you see over here, there is a disassembly procedure of the particular component with the visualization where the viewer is being integrated to your inside your ERP environment. So basically, there is a step-by-step instructions. How do you carry out the maintenance operations or your servicing of that particular component? And what is the? It can also bring you some information on the periodic maintenance activities that needs to be carried out on the respective component. For example, assume that what is the components. When you see there are a lot of components that are available in big organizations like oil and gas, shipbuilding, or shipping industries, or so on, wherein it is very difficult to keep track of the component that needs to be serviced or maintained. So visualization can at least bring to play a role where SAP solution. Through SAP solutions, you are trying to access the particular component, which is one of the example as you see here, wing assembly. On this particular wing assembly, you also have a side panel wherein you have some necessary information that is coming from your ERP environment. So it gives you the details of the costings, the warranty details, the defects, and so all these information with the analytical dashboards. Look at the kind of technologies that is made available along with your business data as well as your visualization that is brought into the picture. So as you see here, here we are trying to address one of the faulty shock absorber. And this faulty shock absorber, what is the reason for this to fail? And who is the supplier? From which supplier has this been delivered? And what is the warranty information of this particular component? Those kind of real-time analytical informations, yes, you can see as you see on the screen, which is highlighted over there. And it's a kind of a warning information that it's trying to give out, by which you can try to address this solution beforehand before it goes to a major issue or create a major issue down the line. So visualization plays a very important role across your enterprise, be it engineering or non-engineering. Anything for that matter can visualization is playing a very important role. The entire thing what you're seeing right now is from an ERP solution point of view. It as an integrated solution. So I would just stop over here because there are certain things that is going on the transactional level, wherein you are creating a engineering change notification because there was a faulty component that we just saw on the visualization. So this was just to give you a hands-on, or just to give you a brief about what the solution was all about. Most of the time, the photorealistic rendering is outsourced when it is specific to the same. variants. So how do you do that? Visual enterprise solutions could play a very important role again here in this particular business functions as well. It's very easy and user-friendly, wherein even the non-technical department, non-technical team need not have high skills or expertise to utilize this solution. It is as simple as it is, wherein it hardly takes few hours. Where, for the non-technical team as well, he can generate the photorealistic rendering images or whatever it is as per the requirement. You can also bring in the background. You can also embed this particular output onto your PPT, wherein the sales and marketing team can present it to their customers or to the stakeholders with the 3D represented data embedded into PPT. Imagine that without any bullet points or the textual information, you're actually bringing in the 3D data embedded into your PowerPoint presentation. If I would like to take you to that example and show you how it can be done, just for example, I just take this example. So once this particular animation is all created, the same animation you would like to output into a PDF format, PPT or PDF or Internet Explorer. It's as simple as it is. You just have to save this output, go to File, Export, and you see various file formats which are available over here. And you have one such format over here as generate this output into a PPT. So you have an Office PowerPoint document output. So you save this at any location, and that is available for you to just open it and demonstrate or explain it to your customer wherever. You can also have this embedded onto your digital medias like your mobile platforms. It could be your iPad, iPhones, or Android versions. Some of the latest versions I'm speaking about. So this now, right now, whatever we saw over there, it is the same. Whatever the animation that we just saw over there, it is the same that we can see over here. So for that, you need to have a 3D visual enterprise viewer integrated onto your system, and you can access this particular visualization, whatever you actually output from that solution. So that was just to give you a brief about what is the capability of this particular authoring tool, and imagine the a kind of effect that it could make when you have an integrated environment in your across your ERP solution that you have across in your organization. So, going back to the presentation. Sorry, I think I just canceled that particular slide. Okay. So now we just had a look about on the solution point of view, what is that visual enterprise solution is all about. We'll just move to the next slides, the following slides, which speaks about the business values that the organization could benefit from the 3D visualization. So we have already seen what are the benefits that individual business functions can leverage using the visualization, right from your engineering departments, the manufacturing, the service and support, or the sales and marketing, or your downstream users. It has been observed from the fact-based research group that the enterprise value of 3D, the best-in-class companies have experienced a significant performance or the achievements over the past few years or months. So as you see the metrics over here, there is a kind of a 19% increase in the revenues or profit, increase in the lead conversions or win rate, the customer retentions of the customer win rates that we are talking about, primarily the customer satisfaction that through the customer satisfaction that you are trying to hold your existing customers and also win on top of that some new customers because of the technology that you are having at your enterprise. So 14% of that is the one which is increase in lead conversion or the win rate. 12% of it is when it comes to the service and maintenance, to which you can repair or to the act immediately onto the existing issues because of the visualization that is made available onto your across your enterprise or to the customers whom you are trying to address these issues. There is also 7% decrease in total service costs. This is just to give you a brief about the metrics what is the enterprise value that you could leverage to, when 3D visualization is brought into the picture. So from the organization point of view, yeah, we see that there is completely, these are some of the benefits that you could leverage across the organization. So when we say that right from the one vision to optimizing with the 3D visual context, taking 3D beyond engineering, better decisions and efficiency with 3D, providing 3D content to the enterprise, simplify complexity and improve speed. Because what we see over the 3D CAD softwares are primarily made available only to are made available only under the engineering department, because it again adds to the cost of the company if it has to be made to the downstream users, which does not really make sense. And also, it depends upon the skill of the downstream users who would like to access that particular CAD solution. However, the information has to move seamlessly from the engineering departments to these solutions to the downstream users. So, and as well, we see that most of the time the business informations and processes are really complex, which cannot be explained fully with words and numbers. So that is where integrated 3D visual information provides a holistic view of views and information to the stakeholders concerned that they would like to address or to. So better decisions and efficiency, as we see, are being leveraged across many industries and functions. Three D visual contents, and you can deliver a more complete view of information when you have a 3D representation or visualization. And how do we simplify the complexity and improve the speed? With SAP 3D Visual Enterprise Solutions, business stakeholders can share and reuse the product data from engineering CAD solutions, primarily the source that you're getting it. These 3D Visual Enterprise Solutions converts these visual contents for presentations on the common desktop documents or back office applications, and also the people can then integrate these 3D animations into the work processes throughout the functional areas of their business. So how do we drive the cost, time, and complexity out of your business process? Many functional areas in an enterprise rely heavily on written information or documents to describe their processes and to the illustrations to depict, to actually convey what is that they are really looking out to convey to the stakeholders. But more often what we see is words alone are not able to effectively define a process, or even when combined with 2D illustration, it's really a challenge for the reader to interpret the actions. That creates an ambiguity in the process. In order to eliminate this, yes, 3D representative data brought in through the SAP Visual Enterprise Solutions can simplify this and drive the cost, time, and complexity out of your business processes. Leverage 3D data to drive performance by using the 3D models as your visual contents of the index. Link this product and plan 3D visual data with the 3D visuals. We have already discussed about that, but through the visual effects, how does it enable right from the engineering department to the downstream users when there is a seamless or when there is effective communication. So last but not the least, we have we also would like would be able to access the business data with the 3D visuals available for you to or in the integrated to a viewer in your ERP. So, in summary, the visual enterprise value it accelerates the speed and helps, and in turn helps you to decide better, or helps you to make better decisions. Increased productivity through the collaborative environment, and when we have a better collaborative environment, or wherein you have the informations that are made available from the engineering to your manufacturing and to the downstream users. You also can improve the quality and have a better operating environment. This is just a summary of what you could leverage the visual enterprise value. So the bottom line is, when you have SAP Visual Enterprise Solutions, it can deliver the improved time to market, a higher quality in product and processes, a lower cost in terms of global operations, the faster uptimes or increased customer satisfaction. This is the bottom line, the value that you could leverage using SAP Visual Enterprise Solutions in an integrated environment. Though it can also be used as a standalone applications. Quite recently, we have also heard from SAP that certain new packages have come into the market, where we have a bundled package based on the customer requirement, as we see. So the package would be is named as Enterprise Formulations, which is primarily your PLM solution, and Enterprise Product Engineering, which brings in the PLM suite along with your Visual Enterprise suites, both combined together, made available to the users. So that was just to give you a brief about our solutions, the current challenges, what the industries are facing with, what is the role of visualization that can address these kind of challenges across the business functions, and the business values. So if I would like to take you through some of the other demos. I'll quickly run through one of the demo over here. This could just give you a brief idea about what I was just referring to, the business informations along with your, the textual informations along with your visualization that can play a role while you are trying to address certain issues, be it services or maintenance, or your productivity issues, or it could be your engineering issues, or your sales and marketing issues. So as you see over here, you have the visualization on the right side. With the click of the button, you could access any information of that respective component, giving you the business data. When I say the business data, it could be the details about the supplier information, it could be the data of your costings of that particular component, it could be the part number informations, these kind of business data that are coming from your ERP environment, and as well the technical informations or the technical documentation point of view that you would like to also have for your internal team or for your internal processes. So as you see on the left hand side, it gives you the step-by-step information about what is that you're actually carrying out when it comes to the services, or when it comes to the maintenance, or or it could be your assembly or work instructions in terms of an assembly unit that if you are referring to. So both combined together, you're combining the visualization as well as the business informations. It could be textuals or info. It could be also analytical informations with the side panels giving you the pie charts, bar graphs, and so on, wherein you can have an analytical information about what is the reason for its failure, why is it that it is failing every now and then, these kind of informations, and who is the supplier, who is the current supplier who is supplying these kind of products, and so on and so forth. So if you would like to access some more examples, I think we have another 5-10 minutes to give you some more. Maybe I can run through quickly on some of the other examples before we close this in another 5-10 minutes or so, and we open up the Q&A sections. So this is one of the examples that I would like to also showcase to you, primarily on the plant maintenance. Just have a look at this particular example, which gives you a complete idea about how you're carrying out the maintenance activity in this particular very critical environment. So it gives you a kind of a disassembly procedure of your maintenance activities with the visualization. The same thing can be accessed onto your ERP solution when it is an integrated environment, giving you when there is a 3D viewer also integrated onto your ERP. which was not the case a few years back until SAP bought over a company by name Right Hemisphere. That is the solution which is now branded as SAP 3D Visual Enterprise Solutions. This example gives you an idea about what is the maintenance activities that are being carried out on this particular component, and with the visualization brought into the picture. So you can also embed the textual informations, like what is that you are going to carry out on that particular maintenance activity. Right now there is no textual informations, but you can also bring in the textual informations, giving you a kind of an idea what is that you would like to convey to the to your internal team or to the stakeholders. So if you see over here, there is not many, there's not even a single word that has been brought into this particular, wherein you're not giving out a lot of textual informations, or there's nothing that you're giving a descriptive environment over here. It is completely a visualization through which the stakeholders would definitely understand what is that you would like to convey to them, which would rather be a difficult task if you would like to bring it in terms of documents, which could be a 300, 400 page documents or something beyond that, if it is a service manual or a maintenance manual, wherein you may not even have that much of time to actually refer those documents. Even if you have time to rectify or actually look out for the relevant information, it would definitely take you a lot of time before, by the time the customer would also be frustrated on if you are trying to address their service request or the maintenance request. So if you have everything in a 3D representation, it is quickly available for you to access anywhere on your even onto your digital medias like your iPad, iPhones, or your Android versions, or wherever across the globe, wherever you are, you can instantly access these informations and instantly address the customer requirement. So this was just to give you a brief about with the demo and an hands-on about what this solution is all about. Though this is a standalone application, this can be made available into an integrated environment, as this being one of the solution in an enterprise suite as well. When I say the enterprise suite, it's a part of your PLM solution, SAP PLM product suite. So you have, apart from your PLM, some of the regular modules that are available in SAP PLM by name CAD integrations, document management, the engineering change management, the bill of material management. Visualization is also one of the solutions which is available as part of your enterprise PLM suite. I hope this gives you a fair idea about what the solution is all about. And quickly we move to the remaining slides. Coming to the customer reference that we see over here, these are some of the major primary customers who are extensively using this visualization. Some of the prominent names of aerospace and automotive and general engineering industries that you see over here, namely Boeing, Pratt & Whitney. In fact, we also have some of the leading automotive industries like Chrysler, Daimler for that matter, Caterpillar, Fiat, and so on. Coming to Indian customers, as I briefly mentioned earlier, we already have received an inquiry from one of the customer in India, that's in North India, where they have SAP Visual Enterprise Generator, SAP Visual Enterprise Solutions as a complete suite integrated through a MES system. We also have one of the a global automotive OEM by name Daimler in India, who is our customer, and they're using Visual Enterprise Solutions for their after-sales market, primarily the technical documentations, to address their technical documentations and all the stuff. So we also have several other customers in India, where one in Hyderabad and few are in Ahmedabad and so on. So this was just to give you a brief, just the partial list of the customers who are using these solutions across the globe. So for more details, you could either reach us, or you can also get these informations across the SAP's website, or through some of the social solutions that are available, social medias that are available, namely Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Or you can also directly reach out to us. wherein we can drop into your office and give you more details on this. So that was the solution that we wanted to bring it in terms of a webinar to you. And now it's the Q&A time.